Hey guys. So I'm at the playground. I'm making my way like to the park. I am a bit under the weather too. And at the time of this recording, it's February 22nd. And this is like probably day 4 or day 5 of my cold. But mind you guys too, I was kind of dismissing it because when I was at work, right? You I could always feel when I'm coming down with, a cold, and like it would start, little, and it would progress into like the coughing and like the throat itchiness and like the eyes watering, like the whole shebang, right? But since, like I'm in between jobs, right? But I have to tell you guys too about like this other opportunity that I was able to attract. But I don't want to like talk about it like too soon with you guys because I didn't start the position yet, and it's something that I've always been like wanting to give a try. I mean, like just try out. So I'm very happy that I was able to have like a lot of like, um, assistance with that. But yeah, so I wanted to like, talk about like my cold and stuff, and just talk about something that I felt like I wanted to share with y'all, right? And that's like talking about the path of least resistance. I bring up my cold because, like for the past, I would say like for the past 2 weeks actually, leading up to the cold, and even like up until like this moment, I remember just feeling as if, you know, feeling like, I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's like, like when you really want to do something and it's like you have all the energy, you spend all that time in preparing for yourself, like for your new role or for that date or for an event. And it's like, because you're super excited about it and like you have all the energy, and all the time, and like really helping to, get yourself ready for it, right? So my thing was, when I was like finally able to get that thing that I super desired, it was like a shift in my energy. And I think when that happens, you got to pay attention to like those moments of like rest, right? And like those moments of, you know, least resisting. So don't do things that you feel like you're forced into doing, but more so like doing things that you are gradually led to doing, and like you never feel like you're forcing yourself to get things done. It's like it's just like a natural energy to it. Like you feel like, so the intention is clear, the energy is there, and it's like you have like no problem following like that inner guidance, right? But for me, it was like when I was finished and I passed the interview and all that stuff, and I have like, and it's like it's this upcoming thing that I'm going to be doing soon. It was just like, well, like, what if, like, okay, like if I got this one done, but like let me just look for maybe like another opportunity too, and just like work with that. But it's like I noticed like the split or like the change in my energy, um moving forward with that, and it was like, hmm, is it just me? Like, is it like, am I procrastinating, or am I like, what is this? And it was like, I felt so bad about it because I was just like, like I gave like so much of my time and my effort, into this thing, but what about over here too? Like, well, what if? And, you know, that's why I really like enjoy like these moments of, um, just going out on like walks and just making sure that like you stay, if you don't like do your prayers, that's fine, but as long as like you're doing something that's like like equally like meditative, I feel like that's really going to help you out a lot, in your journey, really. Oh, hold on. Ooh, wait. Okay. Yeah. I just feel like for me, I felt like I kept forcing myself to like, doing things that I should be doing. But it's like, when like, I feel like when you're on like this path though, like this spiritual path, or it's like you just kind of like, you don't want to like ever do things that you're forcing yourself to do, because it's all about the intention, right? So for me, how I was feeling was, um, I just felt like I was doing all of this movement, but really like for nothing. And it's like when you're spending like time on doing things that um, you should be doing, I feel like instead of like you doing stuff that you should be doing, um, you could spend all that energy and all that time just doing things that you have to do. You're gently guided into doing, and you have like no resistance into doing that, because like you make the time in your heart, to do that, and it's like, you're doing what it is that you got to be doing without any issues. So, like when I was like sick, for example, I would say that I was resisting taking naps, right? Because now when I was at work and I was sick, it was easier for me to just like, call out sick, to put in my PTO, and to take, to sleep a lot during my time at home. Or like if I were to, have like my days off, right? Like on my day, like on the first day, right, of the second half of, um, like on the first day, right, the first day off, I would love to like spend time at home, and I'll just like rest for as long as I want to, not doing anything. Or I would just, spend time listening to something that was, inspirational or helpful, or maybe like spend time watching something funny. But see, I feel like for me, the intention was just to like relax and to just like really stay in a space of um, resting and rejuvenating, so that I could be able to build up enough energy to do the rest of, um, the things that I have to like take care of the next day, which involved chores or cleaning, running errands, something to do with business, maybe sending out applications, XYZ. Um, and I didn't like really have that sort of, I wasn't forcing anything to happen. I was just going with the flow. And I feel like when you go with the flow, I feel like things come to you like much more easier than when you're just like forcing stuff to happen. And, when I gave into like, resting, or like taking in like those morning naps, because I felt like I was like really resisting it, because I felt like, well, like I'm no longer at work, and I'm sick, but I'm not as sick as, I was like when I was sick at work. So, you know, and I felt like, I should be spending the time just like the time that I already spent, sleeping at night. I should just be able to, you know, um, sleep, leave that alone, and I shouldn't take that nap. So it wasn't justifiable for me, right? But that's just like me, like really resisting things that I know is gonna like really help me to heal faster. And I feel like for me, when it comes to taking naps, let's just say you're stuck on a problem, or you're just feeling tired, or you just um no, like you're sick, like you really just like you want to like you want a nap. Like I feel like when you take that nap, right, when you move forward with that, like with that action, when you wake up, you feel much more like refreshed, much more alert. and maybe like that problem that you were having before you took that nap, you now have like a solution, like you were led to like a solution, or you had a thought of, okay, like maybe I can like ask so and so about this because I know that he or she is like really great at this, that, and the third, right? So I don't know, I feel like when you're like least resistant to things that the things, I don't know, like if things like in your path, like things that like it is coming up like intuitively, like don't go against that, because at the end of the day it's kind of like you're fighting against yourself, and that's never gonna like really help push you forward to like where you need to go. So and I also wanted to talk about um you know the full moon, or like the new moon in Leo, right? Because I wanted to just talk about Oshun, and I'm not even sure like how long this video is going to be, but I'm just going to go with the flow with this, because I really wanted to be able to just talk to y'all about that, like my thoughts, and just kind of go with the flow with it. And I'm so happy that I'm doing this, because this is like what I feel like I wanted to share with you guys, which is exactly like why I decided to like go outside and just just do a mini video, because that's what I really want to share with y'all. Because I know that if I've had moments of feeling like not knowing what to do, or feeling frustrated, that like I feel like that I probably like might be feeling like stuck or stagnant. It's like literally just a part of the process, like. And I feel like for me, um with this walk, I know I needed to like take this walk anyway, because even like with me being under the weather, I always feel better with taking walks. And also too, um I told my, like, I had like the intuition to write like a certain affirmation on the wall, which goes like this: I trust in the moment of now, and I trust that I'm always doing whatever it is that I need to be doing. So for me, by me looking at that sort of like affirmation, um, it's kind of like I'm giving myself permission to just be. So whether it's me taking that nap, whether it's me participating in like a little session of yoga, or indoor exercising, or cooking, or cleaning, I trust that's like what I have to be doing right now. Because I feel like when you have like the right intentions for everything, you'll always have like that energy needed to like help push you forward. But if like you're spending time in this like in like this energy of like force, of lack, I mean, it's gonna like really cause you more problems than is necessary. So for me, the path of least resistance for me today had been to take my nap, because I was tired. Um, and I was like, and I'm still recuperating from my cold. And then I felt like, well, okay, like, do I want to be able to stay home and just sleep the rest of the day, or go outside to the park, or what? So I decided to just like go to the park, at least like for half an hour or so, because I love that. I love being like in outside of nature, and I didn't like feel like really adverse to it. I just felt like this would be like a perfect moment for me to just get like my body moving, making sure that the energy is like flowing too, and then I'm just getting like my thoughts outside, and just like really connecting with nature and with you guys. And now, like when I go home, well, before I go home, I'm gonna just go by Target, make sure I just go get like some water, and maybe like some soup, like some dried soup. Prepare my chicken and just make some chicken soup before I go to sleep. Um, and just go with that. I feel like that, and also just doing like a little pedicure when I go home, a pedi and mani, and like that's just it. That's just like me going with the flow. Um, and I suggest that whatever you guys like feel that you've been like resisting doing, like whether it's like spending time like playing on your guitar, or going to the lake with like your dog, or going camping, just go with the flow. Like, I feel like when you do that, like, you're spending like time on freeing up your energy that you know that you need, to help you, move forward like in your own path and journey. So I feel like for me, that had to be like my lesson for the past 2 weeks was, you know, really going with the flow and trusting those moments, like, of, I guess not movement, but I would say just trusting those moments, like, where you feel like you're not doing anything, but you actually are. It's just, that's where you need to be in that moment of time. And just trust that, like, in your next moment of time, because you may like attract the reality, like, where you're going to be like super busy like all the time. And I know for me that's what happened, before, like, at my last job, you know when I was in between jobs too. I remember, like, being so happy and being like so ecstatic about, having like a lot more like free time, just just doing things that I love and whatever. But I kind of felt like a little bit bad, because I was like, well, dang, like, what, like, when is this process going to be over? And I want to start working now, and yada, 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 yada. But it was like, when I spent so much time and energy at work, it was like, I couldn't even, I didn't like really have like enough like space or like enough time to like really, enjoy and really, really enjoy and rest. And I remember intuitively just thinking to myself on many occasions, I was like, you know what? Let me like spend some time enjoying this moment, or like these moments, because I know that pretty soon, I'm not really going to be able to have that time to enjoy those moments. So instead of like me focusing on like lack, let me just like really embrace, um this space that I'm in, because I already like know pretty soon I'm going to be busy. And lo and behold, that's what happened. Sheesh. Um so I say, like, if you want to, like, if you have like the intuition of, having like your little mini spa days, take that. Or I don't know, like, you playing video games with your friends, do that. You looking at shorts on Instagram or YouTube, do that. All right. um just trust like where you are at this moment of time, because at the end of the day, everything like leads to, where you feel like you got to be in the future. But it's like, if you keep forcing yourself to like do things that, like, intuitively there's like not really like the right energy attached to it, is gonna like push, I feel like you're just gonna push that energy like further away from you. And you want to be able to just like, just stay in a place of just like knowing, this is like what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I know that I'm always being led. I'm always being like gently guided into like my next moves and my next steps. I trust this space that I'm in. I trust the timing of everything, and I'm just like so grateful for what I do have in my life in XYZ. I feel like that energy is like definitely better than just like complaining and, just, I don't know, just embracing like an energy of just like lack and, chaos and procrastination and, all that jazz. You want to be able to like attract, an energy of abundance and of gratitude, so that you could be able to attract more things to be grateful for. And, yeah, I just really wanted to say that. Um, but trust where you are. Trust where you are. And, um, trust where you are. And if you gotta take like those daily walks at the park for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, do that. Sheesh. If you feel like you want to paint something, paint. If you feel like if you feel like you want to watch another episode of like your favorite TV series, do it. Just as long as like it brings you joy. just unadulterated joy. I think that's what you really got to pay attention to at the end of the day. Hmm. I also wanted to talk about, um, like I said, like with the full moon in Leo, and I just remembered, thinking about like how when you in these moments, right? Because I know like the month of February has been a moment of going within, right? I've been in hermit mode anyway, regardless. Um, and I felt like for me, I remember just thinking about, you know, me working at like this certain location years ago, and being around like certain women who were definitely blessed, right? Um, and not to say that I don't like have enough curves or anything, but I just remembered like feeling, like my self esteem being definitely shaken by those moments because it was like really, I felt like for me, it was um, really making me aware of who I was, um, and what I needed to like work on internally, right? And it made me question a lot, especially like when it came to like the BBL era, and making and just like feeling like, well, dang, like am I like really enough? And I remember going into like a meditation with Oshun, and the channel that I received was separating the wheats from the tares. And just because a certain person looks the way that they look, you got to be able to like understand that looks can be deceiving. You never know what a person, like really hides, like if really like hides within, because of like how shiny they may look on the outside. And it was true. And I felt like with me, with my own personal journey with Oshun, I had to like understand that, with the mirror, it's not about like how you look. It's not about like, you know, um, how you dressed or like how people like may perceive yourself. It's just about like you with the mirror, right? I feel like it was just like really like a way for Oshun to make sure that like she's always staying connected like to herself and to her own inner divinity, because it's like so easy like when people um it's like really easy to like lose sight, to get sidetracked, to lose sight of that, of like who you are and like what sort of like uniqueness you have, because you feel like like your light may not be like shine as brightly as others. And it's like, and I feel like like with how this reality is like set up, like it's always gonna make you feel like you're like not enough or like not adequate, or it's gonna like really make you feel less than like how God views you at the end of the day. And it's really up to you to like always like stay aligned with you, doing the mirror work, doing your prayers, you know um doing your meditations, self-care too, writing yourself love letters, writing, just like really creating like your world, and just like filling it with like much more like healing, with much more beauty, like inner beauty, planting like those seeds of healing, of joy, of love, and of laughter, with like you tapping in. So I know with my personal journey, it was like teaching me, how to notice the light within myself. So the light that I was seeing within like those women or like those people, it was just like my call to really be able to tap into my own inner light, my own inner divinity, because I feel like I think I was talking about this like with another video, but I was like saying like how um I was like saying like how you know it's not about like how they look on the inside, but it's more so about the energy that they have. And you have that within yourself too, but it just takes a lot of like, time and nurturing to see that and to nurture that and to like allow that energy to just grow. Because they tapped into it in their own way, like their path allowed them to do that. But now it's like your turn to continue on with the work so that you could be able to like, shine just as brightly as them too. And sometimes it's like so easy to, like get like so caught up in like keeping up with the Joneses and, just doing things that you feel um will make you like look aesthetically pleasing or make you feel like you belong to like a certain network, but it doesn't like really fill you in on the inside. And um separating the weeds from the tares, like what are you doing to make sure that you're I'm not sure how to describe that, but what are you doing to separate like the stuff that doesn't like really like it's not in alignment with like your higher self, you know like what sort of like things have you been telling yourself that you can't do um because of like some sort of like like faulty mindset or faulty like perception, like what is that, you know I don't know like what else I gotta talk to you guys about. I just really wanted to share that. But I feel like when it comes to Oshun, um with her using like her mirror and like with her remembering like her inner divinity every day, like she's always attracting like that wealth, that abundance, that beauty. And she's not afraid to go like go through the shadow work. And I know with Oshun she has different sort of like I guess paths to her. And the one that resonated with me had to have been like Oshun as Ibu Kole, and which is her as the vulture. And I know like for people, vultures are like these unsightly creatures, and they just like eat dead animals. But at the end of the day, they have like their own purpose in doing a lot of like cleanup work. And they don't hunt. They play like they play like their own role in society that's beneficial to like the ecosystem. They're not afraid of like getting down and dirty, and she's not afraid of like getting down and dirty and like doing like the shadow work anyway. It's not just about like her beauty that shines through. It's definitely about like her being able to be tapped into, or like not being afraid of the dark, not being afraid of of what life has to offer or give. Or she's there to just like learn just like everybody else, and like really like learning how to um I don't know, just she's not like an uppity spirit. She's just down to earth. She's just doing like what she's just playing her part, and in all aspects of that. It's not about being afraid of getting down and dirty, but it's definitely just about um just making sure that I'm sorry, but yeah, but just like making sure that she's just doing what it is that she needs to do. And that's it. That's all that's all I really wanted to say to you guys. It's getting darker now. Um, I think I will be heading back. Look at these ducks. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see. Let me see. Um, but that's it, guys. I don't know like what else I wanted to share with you, but that's all I really wanted to just talk about. Okay, bye.